Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we are so delighted that you have welcomed us into your home. You know, we would love to hear from you, so send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@EWTN.com. And remember, you can always listen to this show. Just go out to EWTN Podcast Central at EWTN.com/radio/podcast or wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts. Now today we are welcoming bioethicist and author Samantha Stephenson to our show. Samantha is a Catholic convert, a bioethicist, and the author of several books helping Catholics grow in faith and navigate the spiritual and ethical questions shaping our rapidly changing world, whether in the hidden rhythms of home or at the frontiers of science. She hosts the podcast Brave New Us and writes the Choosing Human newsletter on Substack. And today she's here with us to tell us about how the devil attacks the feminine genius within the family with her book, The Bellbind Letters. Go out to her website, snstevenson.com or choosinghuman.org. Well, we are excited to have Samantha with us. We had her on our show, I think it was back in October, and we were very intrigued with her brain, with her knowledge and her intellect and how God is using her. She's a mother of 4, she's married, she's very, very busy, but God is using her mightily through her intellect, through her degrees, which she's earned, and enlightening all of us. So we're grateful.
Well, it's a tremendous book, The Bellbind Letters, Inside the Devil's Plan for Your Motherhood. And the genre of the writing is like the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis. And I must admit, I never read the Screw Tape Letters, fully or hardly at all, but because I like straightforward teaching, I think. But
Jim
now,
is the kind of guy, when we want entertainment, he needs to have a documentary.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, he's just different. He just does things differently.
Well, I like this genre now.
You do.
Because I read it by Samantha Stephenson, and I felt I was going back to the book again and again and again. Mm-hmm. What's going on in this conversation between this underling demon with a senior demon about ruining Catholic women's lives, and the battle that rages and that goes on there. So it's very, very powerful. So there's plenty more to come. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, our guest today is Samantha Stephenson. She's the author of a beautiful book called Bellbind Letters, and you could go out to her website, snstevenson.com or choosinghuman.org. One of the tactics of the devil is for you and I to believe that he doesn't even exist. And so we go to sleep. We don't think there's really a force of evil in the world. And we could pretend, but there is a force of evil in the world. So you authored this book, this beautiful book, and after the novel by C.S. Lewis on the Screw Tape Letters, which was a great idea. So we want you to tell our family about Bellbind Letters and the attack on the schematic plan from hell and heaven on motherhood, as you called it, the feminine genius.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I didn't even think of it as a novel when I was writing it, but you're right, it is a novel, it is fiction, but when I was writing it, I was thinking of it as this examination of conscience through an imaginative literary format, which C.S. Lewis came up with. And it's so brilliant, so timeless the way that he developed this, but because it really allows us to kind of understand in a different way and a different dimension of using our imagination of personhood. Because when you're reading fiction, you're drawn into this empathy for the person who is there. And the examination of conscience, it's a really important form of prayer. It's a vital form of prayer. But sometimes it can be difficult or challenging to sit with a list of sins or a list of vices or the 10 Commandments, and to really understand how that plays out in your life. And so when I first got the idea for it, I was actually asked to write a testimony for our local women's conference, and they wanted us to write letters about why women should go to the Catholic Women's Conference. And I just kept hearing all of the reasons why not. Don't go, your family needs you, you can't spare the time, this is not a good use of,
Wow.
all of the different things of why. And I thought, actually, that might be even more helpful, because we all know we have a sense of the reasons why we should, even the reasons why we want to go this, but for our own spiritual growth and to help our families. But those, sometimes my husband and I call it a case of the twos, like to this, to that. Those just get in your ear and they get in your imagination and they kind of take over. And so I wrote it down, and they ended up using it. That was my first screw tape letter, so to speak. And then as time went on, I kind of kept seeing different ways that voice or those temptations were playing out, whether it's my life or at a women's group, and hearing the ways that as mothers, there's so many, there's the mom guilt, there's the temptation to be this, the temptation to be that. And so it was a gift to really sit with those things over the course of a few years and kind of make notes of, well, this is one way that we're tempted. This is another way that we're tempted. And it's interesting too, because, virtue is always the midpoint between two extremes. So in writing the letters, and fans of C.S. Lewis will note that he does this too. It's where I noticed it and got the idea, is that if the temptation, the tempter has this voice of, well, if you're patient, that's what they call the faithful person being tempted in the book. If your patient can't be tempted to this extreme, well, then just do the exact opposite, because the exact opposite will be, if that's more appealing to your patient, fine. It doesn't matter which way you get them off course, because with virtue and vice, there's no neutral decisions. Every decision that we make, we are either walking towards God, towards heaven, or we're stepping the other way, which is where the demons in this book want the patient to be going.
So
well done.
Share with us, about the characters. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you got Bellbind, who is this underling demon, and you got Boomslang, who's like more senior demon.
Correct.
And so what we're reading in the book are these letters, like C.S. Lewis had these letters, so this is instruction by these letters. And so when we're reading the letters, we're really hearing Boomslang, okay, because he's addressing Bellbind, the underling. Bellbind's doing the activity, right, to the mother, to the patient.
Right.
And Boomslang's critiquing this and giving him
Counsel.
demonic wisdom, it's really unbelievable. So that's what we're reading, chapter by chapter, and what's going on there. And you've got 24, well, how many, no, you got like 30 chapters on snatching souls, on screen, on rest, on vanity, I enjoyed that one, on pregnancy, on fertility, on household tasks, on children, on appearances, on pride, loneliness, on the feminine, on suffering, on motherhood as an idol, on defeat. And that's just a few of them that are in there. And so where did you get your information from for all these different areas? What was it? Where were you pulling that from, your own kind of experiences, or what was the content on the holy end? And then we'll ask, where were you getting the demonic stuff from? That might be from teaching the church as well. So where'd you get your content?
Well, so in noticing temptations, a lot of it was personal experience. Thankfully, not all of it were things that I personally wrestled with, but I could hear, like I said, moms groups, things that other women, or just seeing what are women struggling with, what are mothers sort of being pulled, where are the distractions in our lives. And then in terms of, the holy stuff, because I think one of the differences, or there's a couple differences between this one and the Screw Tape Letters, is that this is wholly and entirely Catholic. And so looking at things like the Mass, confession, the Rosary, those things are so beautiful, and it's, I think, thrown into stark relief when you see the language in the book and the hatred and the opposition against those things. And a lot of those ideas came actually from our pastor in Idaho. He's one of the exorcists for the diocese, and so he will sometimes share things of especially the opposition to those things that are so beautiful. You know, our vocation of motherhood is so beautiful, and when you see the forces working against it, I think that kind of, it's really edifying to be able to choose what's good when it's hard, because it's not always easy.
Right. And as women, we hear all those voices in our head, all the lures, all the lies about competing and comparing, and I don't add up. I'm less than, or I'm not doing it this way, I'm not doing it that way. Or the other tendency is to become super spiritual, right? To the neglect of maybe our marriage or our family and all those ways, and you do that so well. So tell our family about the characters of Bellbind and Boomslang. Tell them their origin and where they came from and who they are.
Yeah, so the name Bellbind actually comes from this really pernicious weed that I battled in my garden for years and years. And you can see on the cover, that's it. It's this deceptively,
it's a pretty flower.
It's beautiful. It's very deceptively beautiful because it looks like something you want to keep around, looks like something desirable. Just like temptations. You know, we don't choose temptations because they are terrible. We choose them because they look good in some way. But this weed it has these tendrils that will wrap themselves around your crops and choke them out. If you try to pull the weed out, you know, usually with weeds, you want to pull them out by the root, which is a great metaphor for what we're doing in confession. But with this weed in particular, when you pull the root, it actually creates this opportunity where it splits and it grows more heads and it becomes more vigorous for you trying to pull it out. And it spreads sometimes up to 10 feet below the surface. You know, when you think about starting a garden, you till it up and that's supposed to get rid of the weeds, but it will not. And if anything, it just makes it more of an opportunity for this particular weed. We're talking about the weed, but this is really a metaphor for
it's pretty terrible.
For
what's
the
happening
demonic in our lives. And I think that I read somewhere that it can reduce crop yields by up to 50%. So you're thinking about this thing that's sapping this woman's energy, vitality, her ability to respond to the call of the Spirit, her ability to grow the fruits of the Spirit in her lives is reduced so much by this constant weighing down and this weed that chokes her out.
Right.
And then boomslang is actually an African tree snake, and it is so venomous that if you are bitten by this snake, you can't just go to the hospital and get the anti-venom and recover. You will actually require a full blood transfusion. So I loved the symbolism there of us being bit by the snake and suffering and requiring the sacrifice of someone, you know, Jesus's blood to really have new life within us, have life, continued life.
Well, you know, here we are, it's 2026, nothing new under the sun. We too, as of Eve in the garden being tempted and everything was looking great and we think it's something that it's not. And we fall, as in your great example of Bellbind and Boomslang, to that, you know? And so it's your faith journey. It is all the sacraments that pull you out and lift you up. But there is a spiritual balance, because the woman and the power of the woman in marriage, the power of the woman in family, it's everything the devil wants to take out. Right? And yet all of heaven is coming to fortify you and strengthen you with everything that you need to succeed and thrive and to raise up your beautiful children. So that battle is daily, right? And so you give a beautiful way to say, Women, wake up. This is your story. What do you think was one of the chapters that you think today would speak really loudly to the women and the effectiveness of something that they're going through?
Gosh. Well, I think earlier we were chatting about just the draw of screens and the power of these ubiquitous devices to distract distract us. That's something I personally have struggled with a lot, and putting locks and measures on my phone, because one of the most haunting letters, I think, in the Screwtape Letters, it talks about how the safest road to hell is the gradual one, and that it's not necessarily going to be these big horrible sins that we kind of think of and like, oh, that's the kind of person who's going to hell. No, we are drawn and lured slowly off track until the next thing is just that much easier to choose. It's a little bit more, and I mean, we know there's a whole world of horrible stuff on the phone. They're great tools too,
right?
But it really doesn't. It could be the most, and I think it says this somehow in the book. It could be the most beautiful reflections on motherhood that you're reading. It could even be, these awesome podcasts or things that are supposed to be uplifting, and obviously the demons would prefer that we be distracted with something else, but it really doesn't matter as long as we are off track from what God's will for us in the moment is. Those are the moments that they want to capitalize on and take us away from whatever it is that we're truly called to be doing. And it's so easy to fall into that, because as moms, especially I have littles still, and as moms of littles, sometimes you are called to be wiping jelly off the floor, and that's the thing you're most called to be, and joyfully, not resenting and oh my gosh, I'm doing this, like I just mopped the floor.
The mundane, the repetition, and it really, and if you're not centered in Christ to do what we're doing and giving ourselves away, there is a slow fade, right? And all of a sudden it's like, well, how did I get here? Because I signed up and my heart was so in all this, and I wanted to be this kind of mom and to be doing this, and how did I get over here? And it is the lures and the lies from the demonic that infect us and affect us, and then God and all of heaven is screaming like, come back, right? In those forces.
We have to take a break at this point. We're going to hold you over for the final segment. We'll only have several minutes or so. Share with us your best stuff here. And so it's the Bellbind Letters, Inside the Devil's Plan for Your Motherhood. Strongly recommend this book, EWTNRC.com. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. Welcome back. We're finishing our conversation with Samantha Stephenson, the Bellbind Letters, Inside the Devil's Plan for Your Motherhood. You get this, you learn some things, you say, hey, that's what's going on. I reject that, and I return to the Lord. So C.S. Lewis, the Screwtape Letters, you're kind of mimicking that. C.S. Lewis would be happy that you're mimicking that. That's the case that you make, because it's this kind of conversation, demonic conversation, who the Lord is and so on, needs to take place. But C.S. Lewis also was saying, like, it was really difficult for me to write the book and take on the persona of, not maybe persona or not or what, to think like demons think.
Yeah.
How was your process in writing this and that kind of aspect with Bellbind and boom slang and dealing from that angle?
Yeah, it is hard because things are so upside down. Satan is our father below, and God is the enemy, and so you have to use this language that's attacking things that are beautiful and sacred. But I, thankfully, I don't know what it says about me, but I didn't have the same experience that Lewis had of all this darkness. I think because I had the benefit of experiencing the Screwtape Letters, and my husband and I try to reread it every Lent, and it just, knowing the power of spiritually of really being able to unpack, it's so edifying to know where these attacks are coming from. And so what I really hope women take away from the book is to, yes, have this insight, this examination of conscience, but then also to not be filled with shame, and to not stay there, because that's what they would love more than anything, is to wake up and then, okay, she's having this moment of awakening, but let's keep her in the shame, let's keep her in the darkness. I hope that they really have this experience of God's grace and mercy and a return to his loving arms, and to say, no big deal if that we've fallen into sin, because that's just part of the human condition. What the most successful Christians are the ones who never sin and never fail, but who never fail to then feel like, okay, I've fallen again, and then like Saint Therese, just like lift our hands up to Jesus and say, I fell again. Can you pick me up?
It's the difference between Peter and Judas.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it seems like the Lord wanted to give salvation to the both of them, and they faced the most grievous things, and Judas chooses the way of suicide. He doesn't come to the help and to aid that's there, and that Peter does, and that's true for women as well as men. What do you hope people take away, well, especially women, reading these stories and what they're seeing, and how do they apply that? What's your hope?
I hope that they see in a new way, maybe, we know a lot of stuff in our head, but sometimes it's hard for the things to get those 18 inches from the head to the heart. So really the beauty of the vocation of motherhood, the incredible gift that Jesus gives when he gives himself to us in the Eucharist, the amazing, incredible graces of confession. And I hope more than anything that women will pick up their rosaries and pray. It could be as simple as praying a decade every time you put a kid to bed, when you have a newborn, or just a decade with your kids at night. It doesn't even have to be the whole thing, but just to really lean into the graces that our mother wants to give us.
Excellent.
Well, thanks so much for being with us. We're glad that we're going to have you on Thursday as well, where you'll be dealing with another book, Grow Where You Are Planted, Reclaiming Eden in Your Own Backyard. And so that's tomorrow. Today was the Bellbind Letters, EWTNRC.com. What a gift Samantha has given here. Because there's nothing like not knowing what's going on and then suddenly saying, oh, that's what's going on. It's kind of like looking at a picture. Is this woman beautiful or an old hag? And you're looking and you're saying, it's one thing, but no, it's really another thing. And the power of the enemy is not equal to the power of God. We don't want to give him more power or credit than he deserves. And that comes through this as well, that the victory is indeed in Jesus Christ and in this Holy Catholic Church. You're an important part of the EWTN family. You're never alone. You're always at home with Jim and with Joy. Bye now.